Hello, everyone. Today is the transmission on the occasion of Guru Purnima, July 3rd, 2023. It's going to be a very special transmission and also a prophetic message for many. We are at the very end of the spiritual cycle, whether we call it down cycle, whatever, we can just say that within the creation, everything is always a part of something else, and creation sets itself into a balance. But sometimes, even within this creation, there are points of, from our standpoint, lower points, higher points. Again, this is all just man-made notions. But because we're here on this physical level, we are to go through these ideas, it's kind of a part of our life, you may say, a part of this incarnation. At the same time, it has to be understood as a limitation. Because when we do not understand it as a limitation, it becomes our obstacle. It becomes the way our soul gets more and more into a limited state. So today, I would like to express that whatever I've observed for the past 10 years, this channel has been here for the past 10 years. And the point of this channel is not to please anyone, is not to acquire any followers. The point is to spread a certain frequency. Again, when we speak about knowledge, when we speak about spirituality, most of the corrupt souls tend to be attracted towards different spiritual actions, different ideas of what spirituality is or should be, and how it applies to their sense of self. But if their sense of self is corrupt, their spirituality or the idea of this spirituality is corrupt itself. In fact, true spirituality is very simple because, and even hundreds of parrots repeat these truths. Now everyone started repeating selfless and all equanimous. So you see, there is an army of parrots. The problem is that no matter how many times people repeat the truths, if they are not the truth, if there is a gap between what they want to be and what they are, there's no alignment, and thus there is no impact on the collective, on that higher level. But there is an impact on the majority in the sense that the delusion is being spread. And yet this delusion wouldn't be spread if the majority didn't support that type of frequency. People support their ideas of spirituality, not the real spirituality. Because to align with the higher reality, with their higher soul, seems to be more difficult than to, rummage in their illusion, promote the illusion, and believe in it, hold onto it dearly. This channel is the channel that tried to at least invoke some perception of the higher reality, awaken consciousness to the point of realization that there is a hard work ahead. Those immature souls, corrupt souls, are not ready to work. All they want is transmission, support, blessings. But in order to realize the essence of evolution, we need to understand we are to be the source of that power. We are to become, we are to restore to that state ourselves. We are to become that grace. We are to become that blessing. And if you cannot be the blessing, then what are you? A sheeple? We also have to realize that whatever we experience on this earth in the form of spirituality, religions, whatever, these are all remnants of once existent level of awareness, which crumbled down through the down cycle, that's fragmented. And now we just try to hold on to those fragments, trying to see ourselves through this fragment, through that fragment. We lack a bigger picture. We're incomplete in our essence, because instead of looking within, we're looking for these different pieces we can collect and form them into a sense of self, or attach to a sense of self. And what do we become? We become disempowered nothings. We promote the corruption of our soul more and more. And so this is the time, this is the prophetic message for the majority of people. No matter how you try, if you do not realize the essence, if you do not try to cultivate this essence by facing your darkness, by facing your corruption, by owning it, by dissolving it with awareness, there is no way you can truly ascend and realize evolution. We're at the end of this era, and the coming several or so years will be very challenging for the majority of people, especially those who assumed a spiritual position. This is the message to the majority of gurus, spiritual teachers, spiritualists of this world. I do not assume any position. No, I'm here to teach anyone, just to pass the message of the higher realm. Anyone who until now assumed and unauthorized from a higher realm position, misused their spiritual power or some sort of abilities, which are limited but still, who have created or contributed to the creation of imbalance on this earth, who assumed a position of God, who assumed a position of the Almighty Being, who have posed to be a light being, to be siddhas, to be enlightened gurus, but in reality we're not or are not. Your time is up. You will be tumbled. You will be destroyed. Everything you built, all that corruption that you spread all over the world, the way you corrupted the souls who followed you, all that will come to haunt you. All that is over. You will claim these souls, but the higher power will claim you. You will be dissolved into the light. Everything you've done will be spiritually punished. You are self-serving beings, even though you say you serve other people, even you use the word selfless. You have served yourself. And to the point that you were blind to the fact that you were not only corrupting your own path, but the path of your entire bloodline. You've caused corruption to your bloodline and to everyone's bloodline who is connected to you. And so you are condemned by the true higher realm, by the realm of light beings, immortals, siddhas, and the higher power, higher reality. There's nowhere to run. You've come here to spread delusion, which is the highest of all crimes. Instead of assuming a humble position and learn from life, you decided to be an authority, a spiritual authority, an unauthorized authority. It's a spiritual crime. But that was not enough. You decided to gain from creation by creating an imbalance. But creation itself is wiser than anyone and anything. And it sets everything into balance. The justice comes. And when the justice arrives, you receive all the fruit of your labor, all the fruit of your corruption, and all the fruit of your corrupt soul. When we think that certain acts are sinful, for the higher realm, there is nothing more sinful than a mere mortal assuming a position of a guru of an enlightened being, spreading the truths of the realized beings, Siddhas, for example, real enlightened beings of former eras, without being that which they're trying to spread. They're spreading information, but they are not that. They are not the vessels of that knowledge. That is misalignment. That is corruption. And so because of this misuse and abuse of spiritual knowledge and occupying unauthorized positions, these people will be overthrown in the next several years, especially. A lot of these people were already overthrown. This first message came in 2013. And now we observe after 10 years, most of these corrupt, false prophets, gurus, spiritual figures were exposed. But exposed again, it's not in that kind of a social way, exposition, exposed in spiritual level. They received their karmic justice, and the last wave is about to receive it. The problem of the cycle, as I said, is that there is a gap between who we want to be in our unrefined state when we start this journey and who we are. Our spirituality of the current age is built on that. Why? Because when we experience something, we don't even understand what it is. We are in the unrefined state, but our egos still want to assume a position. And so we start talking about it instead of, continuing our journey in silence, continuing our journey in such a way where we still are open and humble to the higher reality, to receive that grace. The moment you assume the position, the higher reality is watching you. And you think you're receiving grace, but you are executing the karma. You are spreading delusion and absorbing all those souls who are of the same kind, delusional dark souls. And of course, all of these gurus and false prophets and false siddhas and all these false enlightened beings are still occupying the right position because they are spiritual hoovers. They're hoovering in all the corrupt souls because it is the time of soul choice. It is the time of soul filtration. We've entered the time of soul filtration past 30 years. And now the cleanup has been done. And those who have been representing this corruption, who have corrupted other souls who were already corrupt in their essence, they've just made it all easy for creation. So at the end of this era, all of these beings perish in a spiritual way. One thing is what you want to be, and the other thing is what you are in your essence. No one can change your essence. People can affect your physical, emotional, mental being, but no one can change your essence. Essence is exactly that, which is the driving force for evolution. The essence can be veiled and then can be unveiled. But if the essence is corrupt, it is corrupt. Light beings are in essence that which many mortals want to be. Yet, these people who want to be light beings or enlightened beings, they lack humility, patience, perseverance. They lack simplicity. They don't realize how life tests them. Light beings are here to mirror, to test. They're not to interact with everyone on a daily basis. True siddhas, enlightened teachers, higher beings, they are not to interact here with humanity on a daily basis. They are to set everything into balance. They come to announce the arrival of the next era. They come to collect their own souls, which in the down cycle are the minority. They're not here to assume kingship, kingly positions, gurus, guru positions, any position. They don't need anything. They know who they are beyond man-made reality and human notions. There's nothing to lose, not to gain in this world. This is a human idea, which you are all to realize in the time to come. And just for those who assume that they know astrology, they know medicine, they know, herbs, assume humble position. Whatever you know is a crumble. If you realize that, you continue your process of evolution. You continue learning. There's no higher grace than the ability to learn. This quality of the soul to learn is the highest of all. But what is this quality on the human realm? It's humility, it's courage. Not to stay on one or at one point or occupy one position, but be open to flow. Then you go on. If you look only at the reflection, you might be lost. It's the high frequency, that's the message. You fall asleep, it's not for you. A lot of these false gurus and false enlightened beings of this era invoked the curse of the higher power upon them and their bloodlines. How do you think we've ended up in this corrupt age? In this age where there is no morale, the higher morale is absent. The man-made morale is still here, but the higher morale is absent. How do you think we reached this level? Because we assumed that something that is corrupt is of spiritual nature. Something that is not of light is of light. Our value system got reversed. And so we got more and more corrupted at our core. But some souls were still pure, despite their physical fate. Meaning the destiny, whatever they experienced throughout this down cycle, whoever incarnated there. Most of the light beings did not incarnate during this cycle. And that's why it's called the age of the demonic age, the age of corrupt and ritualistic spirituality, where people conjured, summoned different lower realm, subtle frequencies and worshipped them. The time is over. Whoever did that, your time is up. You have to go. Everything you've built on earth here will be destroyed, burnt, because it's corrupt. How? It will be burned by the presence of the higher power, the true authority of light and higher reality, because it is the change of times. That was your time now. The time is changing. Pick up whatever belongs to you and go. Souls who are truly selfless, truthful, and courageous cannot, souls who are not truly selfless, truthful, and courageous cannot enter the next age. That's another message. And some souls are aware of their corruption, and the level of their humility will define their destinies and future. Whoever proclaim themselves hypocritically demonstrating that fake positivity, whoever tries to lure people to worship them or to worship what they don't represent. Many people hide behind Siddha writings, different scriptures, posing as authority of knowledge, having no presence. Stop throwing words. Go lock yourself up, contemplate who you are. All your money that you make, your paper, is not going to take you anywhere. You corrupt other people by showing a corrupt example of something that you're not. You are showing that you are spiritual authority, and yet you are a degraded, rotten from inside, eaten by worms and parasites beings. What gurus are you? What light beings are you? You haven't realized that you are rotten alive, yet you're throwing pearls of the previous eras into the faces of the ignorant beings, teaching them supposedly. Teaching them what? True light beings don't teach, they are. And in their presence, everyone learns directly. They just fall into that higher reality. Or you go around and collect initiations. You think that these are real initiations? These are the way to attach you to the demonic forces that these corrupt and falsely enlightened beings worship. That's what you're doing. You are attaching yourself and your bloodlines. Isn't it spiritual ignorance and foolishness? And even if you're ignorant, it doesn't remove responsibility from you. Own it, whether you're a corrupt guru or a wannabe or a fake master or a eaten by parasites yoga teacher who twists the body but doesn't realize anything and ages and dies like a dog. What are you? What spirituality? What light are you talking about? You haven't experienced that light within. Then what are you spreading? When you face true light beings, you'll be burned. You'll be burned to shame, to ashes. Your empty, childish egos will burst, and you'll cry. Cry for your ignorance. The most important message of the higher realm is the warning, especially to those who use the words Siddha, Yoga, Kundalini, Kriyas, and teach, especially. What are you teaching? You're not that. You have never experienced Kundalini because it will devour you, it will destroy you. All you experience is glimpses of the movement of the subtle body because we are at the point of changes of eras. You stimulate a subtle body by drugs, by herbs, by God knows what, by exercises, and you think that you're enlightened, that you're awakened. Nothing. You experience 5G radiation and something moves in your brain and you think you're awakened. That's mold. That's candida. That's parasites which are moving around you and making you feel that you are supposedly delusionally awakened. You're rotting in your personal hell. That's what's happening. That's your awakening. Because to awaken is to mature in soul, to experience that higher frequency and be able to align. But to be able to align yourself with it, you have to conquer all that parasitic energy that you're connected to on the subtle and physical levels. And this is so painful. This is so difficult. Have you done it before you bark? That you have awakened, that you know what Kundalini Yoga is, that what Siddha knowledge is? True Siddha will burn you just by looking at them. You'll burn to ashes. And if you know the story of Patanjali, a lot of people nowadays bark about Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. But when the time comes, you'll realize how foolish and idiotic you are. You're not that. You're not that knowledge. You're not that vessel. Be that knowledge and vessel. Be that book instead of taking someone else's knowledge, copying, quoting without reference. Stop trying to be someone. Stop copying someone. Assume a humble position and you still have a chance to survive. So this message is for those who misuse Siddha writings, quotes, who proclaim themselves Siddha masters, Siddha gurus. There are no such at this point of time, not on the arena that you're aware of. And those who are true masters, they'll watch you. They'll watch you perish on the physical and spiritual levels. And with your perish, everyone will see that you're a false prophet, Siddha or Guru, that you are not of light, but you are that which rots in the earth. You have not conquered the darkness, and the darkness consumes your body. Your light is consumed by the darkness, but that parasitic energy that you haven't refined, that you're claiming yourself to be a guru, smiling all over, claiming that you're promoting Siddha teachings, Siddha Yoga, Siddha Siddhanta, Kundalini Yoga. Frauds. Everyone is a fraud. And because you're frauds, you will receive, as frauds do, as spiritual criminals do, in a spiritual court, the highest form of judgment is upon you from today onwards. There is no mercy. Souls of higher level do not think like human beings. They see truth or falsehood by frequency, not by words, not by hypocritical actions, not by masks or appearances. And who you are will be revealed to everyone. Mark my words. To be a pioneer of spiritual evolution, you are to become a vessel of that. You are to transform your own darkness so that you become an immortal being and you vibrate that. Whoever perished like a mortal was not an enlightened being. Period. Who are you following? Stop following, look within. Stop supporting spiritual businesses. They'll collapse and burn. Everything these false beings in the name of Siddha, Kundalini Yoga, etc., whoever built anything on the bones of innocent beings, spreading corrupt knowledge, all you built will be burned to ashes, will be destroyed. You, your bloodlines, and everything who is connected and everyone who is connected to you will be destroyed and spiritually punished. You will see the fruit of your labor in the coming years. This is the message. Light beings will be your karma. You misused, you thought that there is no punishment by taking the light beings' work, Siddha work, other enlightened beings' works, and spreading it as if it's your own, copying it, making your names, false names. True Siddhas have their names given and authorized by the higher realm. They do not occupy their position just like that. No one in this world has a right to occupy any spiritual position just like that in an unauthorized manner. You have to be assigned by the higher realm and be a humble servant. But you want to be a king and you will be a clown. The true knowledge is always protected from frauds. That's why all they can do is just copy. Use the same words, but have no essence. They have no vibration. They're connected to demonic realms. Their presence is enveloped in demonic presence. And that's why you have different phenomenal experiences around them. But in fact, all they do is Vashikaran, attraction. They try to attract. How many followers the true Siddhas had? did true Siddhas have? True Siddhas had 1 to maybe 50, 60 followers throughout their thousands of years of existence, having only 1 or 2 true disciples, several true disciples. All that you know of spirituality is not spiritual, is demonic. You think that true sadhus, true spiritual beings would smoke weed, take psychedelics, wear some special clothes, create something out of themselves, build something? No, nothing. They have the presence of a light existence, and their words are sharp as the sharpest of all swords. They'll cut through and destroy your falsehood. The time is up. The problem is, with such corrupt souls, they have no capacity to learn because they think that they are superior. They think that they have a certain superior position because it's so comfortable, right? To be praised, to be bowed to. No Siddha will allow anyone to bow to them because they don't assume superior positions. Some people say there are saints. Yes, very positive beings. High consciousness is not about positive or negative. It's beyond, it's a frequency of beyond. True unconditional love, by the way, if someone doesn't know, shatters illusion. Shatters narcissism. All of you spiritual narcissists who listen to this, all that which you carry as a seed of corruption will be shattered too. It's just a message. Between now and 2027, all the representatives of the spiritual darkness, aka modern gurus, teachers, magicians, occultists, will be punished and destroyed. The time to spread delusion and falsehood is over. Certainly you will hover up all your souls, similar souls, by frequency. There's nowhere to run and nothing to do. It's just a part of the process. It's a part of it's the way creation balances itself out. And if you try to direct your darkness again and again towards the light, you'll perish before you started. And for those beings who look for the light, for the higher grace, be humble, aware of the corruption within, so that it doesn't take over your spirit and lead you like all those lost souls to the pits of creation. It's very important for you to remember. And for those who are wannabes, copycats, etc., when you take the words of the light beings, when you copy, when you quote, when you steal someone else's writings and try to sell it for your own, it's called a spiritual crime that is severely punished by the realm of the immortals. The judgment is called upon you. The light beings have called the judgment today on Guru Purnima, 3rd of July, 2023, of this calendar. Again, all these timelines are just man-made. But between this year, 2023, and 2027, all you knew of spirituality will be changed. Hopefully your soul is meek and mature enough to accept your own corruption and to correct your own mistakes, to correct your own doings, and to repent within, to understand the repercussions of these delusional acts, and to humble down. But this is the highest forms the highest form of all crimes. To spread spiritual corruption, to divide souls. The actual division of the souls and the fragmentation happened because of spiritual division, right and wrong. This is not a question of right and wrong. This is the question of what it is by frequency, that you are, that you represent, and how it is aligned with creation, how it is aligned with the higher realm. If it's not aligned, it's an imbalance, and any imbalance will be neutralized. If you come to whatever true beings and try to take their words for your own, try to imitate that, this is a crime. So next time you do it, be aware, because now you'll do it consciously. If you think you want to be like someone else, you are a poor being. Control yourself. You want to take someone else's knowledge, life, destinies. It's a crime. It's a theft. It's impossible. But if you try, you'll be punished. You'll be destroyed. You'll lose your spiritual essence to the projection, because all you see is projection. You cannot see and know who is a guru and who is not, who is light and who is not, unless that is within your soul, even to a certain degree. You have to perceive that frequency within yourself so that you can understand who is who, beyond the shape and the form, beyond the names. Everything is frequency. If you cannot read this reality through your own soul, through frequencies, you're but veiled and deluded beings. So what awakening are we speaking about? What refinement and evolution are we talking about? Occupy the position that you are supposed to be in and start from there. Your journey then will be faster than you think. But when you try to assume a different position, you're living in delusion and creating a wider and wider gap between who you are and what you want to be. Because what you want to be is an illusion, is not what you are. What you are is now, with all your darknesses, all your corruption, and whatever you represent. So why are you faking it? Why are you faking? Why are you trying to be something that you're not? You think it's all about appearances? It's all about form? The form is the reflection of the work that you do. So again, when you are just trying to say that you are doing yoga, you are learning something spiritual, be yoga, be spirituality by frequency, conquer that darkness within. Refine yourself physically, spiritually. Neutralize mental and emotional distortion so that you can bathe in constant meditative state, constant absorption. Then you are a workable follower, a student of higher existence. This way you can probably learn something, but you're not a guru. No one can be a guru but by the assignment of the higher power. And how the higher power assigns? By frequency. You should just roll up your sleeves and do the hard work for as long as it happens. And when your time is right, you will know that it is your time to be something on this earthly plane or spiritual realm. Wannabes are punished. Copycats are punished by experiencing misery because they refuse to work, because they refuse to look within and open their soul to the higher grace. They think they are with the higher grace, but unfortunately, in reality, it is not so. So this is the day today to announce this judgment and the change of eras for all those who got the past 7,000 years, who for the past 7,000 years have been spreading all this spiritual delusion and falsehood, as I said. Those who were changing history, changing timelines, trying to swap destinies, trying to hurt light beings, light souls, trying to torture them. Again, no one is a victim here. Everyone receives what they're supposed to receive. The difference is that the higher souls can come out of whatever limitations and delusions, but lower souls just sink in their victimization without seeing any light or a way out. And so they proclaim their victimization. It's a statement of life, and they continue living through it. They destroy life from within. So if you're an enlightened being, you will support life. You will first of all awaken to the light within, and you will support life within. You will align that life with your physical being, and it will emanate through your presence. When you are a wannabe, you will think you're awakened, but your parasitic energy will take over. And again, it's not there just to punish you, it's just to show you that you are not to neglect that which you have. When we neglect darkness, when we turn away from darkness and don't see it as an opportunity to actually refine not only ourselves, but our bloodlines, the collective, contribute to the collective, then we are not fit for spiritual evolution, because spiritual evolution is for selfless beings who are not self-serving, who think for their ancestry, for their ancestors' bloodlines, for the collective being. That's why they're called selfless. If you put the word selfless on your websites and spread delusion and delude, corrupt, victimized souls into thinking that you're such a good philanthropist, a guru, an enlightened being, using the word selfless doesn't make you such. You're all frauds. And all you do is just filling up your pockets. You're not here to spread any light, but to ensure that you will hoover in all the dark souls and take them with you to perish on the peripheries of creation. And I don't care if you believe or disbelieve, because it doesn't matter. The truth is, the change of time is, and all I said is, you've invoked this curse of the higher power upon you and your bloodlines and everyone you've taken with you and whoever worships and believes in you. Because they are to believe in themselves, but you strip them of that opportunity. They are to believe in the higher power, but how can they if you strip them of the opportunity to awaken to that? And they contributed to their own demise. Every false guru who doesn't represent that which they claim to represent, who retells bookish knowledge, misuses Siddha writings, who proclaims that they have realizations and spiritual status, who built false spiritual empires, being unauthorized by high realms and illegally using spiritual knowledge or proclaiming this knowledge to be their own without reference to the source, who plagiarized knowledge and proclaim such knowledge to be their own realization, who spread spiritual poisons, ritualistic understanding of spirituality, give false Shaktipat, which attach people to demonic forces of the collective, who bind people by these demonic forces or different lower forces of lower realms of creation, who create spiritual imbalance on earth and have been creating for the past 7,000 years, spreading all types of false teachings, will be punished. Everything they built will be destroyed. They will be under severe judgment, and they will be probably spiritually destroyed. It's not my call. I'm not a judge.
I'm just a messenger. So whatever is going to happen to these beings, it's not my area. I don't spend my energy for thinking about this. I'm just saying that all these beings will be spiritually destroyed, and whatever they've built here on earth will be also destroyed. Collapse, burn, crumble. From today onwards, all of these beings' lives will start crumbling down. Everything they built will start being destroyed. They can't escape from this fate and this truth. This is the final wave of dissolution of corruption on this earth, which is going to take place from today, July 3rd, 2023, until 2027. And it's very interesting how human morale works, because we see that, okay, certain people kill themselves or, commit different other crimes, political, religious, whatever. But the worst a human can do on earth is spread spiritual delusion, manipulate others spiritually, and proclaim themselves to be something they're not. That's the worst, at least for a higher realm, for Siddha realm. So, sit, watch, observe yourself. You don't need to think what is going to happen to others in this case. Realize the truth within. So this transmission is to make you realize that the truth is simpler than you think. Observe yourself. Let go. Embrace the truth within. Embrace your own power. Realize that your stories, whatever happened to you, doesn't define you. That's not the soul language. That's what you assumed about yourself. That's the trauma of the mind. Give this trauma to the light. This transmission will dissolve all the traumas, all the parasitic energies. It's such a high frequency. It will dissolve parasitic energy within your blood, within your organs, within your glands. Whoever is that light being who I'm talking to, whoever has that light within the soul still, whoever recognizes the truth of the higher realm within them, this transmission, this frequency will free you from parasitic energy. The frequency destroys the nucleus of parasites, living parasites. It takes away all the pathogens out of your blood, all the poisons, whether they are occult afflictions, whether they are of man-made reality, chemicals, heavy metals, vaccines, any poison that you might have in your blood, in your organs, in your tissues, by watching this transmission once a week or once a month, everything will be taken out of your body. You may also take salt baths with the intention to remove that after watching this transmission. All the poisons will come out through your spit, through your excretions, through your urine. Everything will be removed and you'll feel purified by the fire of this truth, by the fire of the higher frequency. You will be purified. You will realize what the primordial essence is. Your soul will burst into tears because of devotion, because of your heart is open. Your heart is open. Everyone who wants to be open to the higher truth, your system, your energy body, your physical body will align to open up to the truth and to be filled in with powerful spiritual frequency, the frequency of love, the frequency of existence, equanimous existence, selfless existence, unconditional existence, beyond man-made morals and ideas. And here is one piece of knowledge that I want to share with you, as on the level of frequency and also verbally. When you look at the yantra of Muruga with the 2 reverse triangles, this is the representation. It's not the representation of earthly realm. It's a representation that your energy body and your physical body are in alignment. And that happens after powerful refinement. Your physical body is represented by the lower triangle, and your energy body is represented by the upper triangle. This knowledge cannot be found in books, cannot be found anywhere. This is a powerful knowledge, usually which copycats and wannabes and spiritual businessmen see as an opportunity to seize, take for their own. But if you repeat this knowledge, you'll be destroyed instantly. Everything that you've built, your life will collapse without you knowing how. Because anyone who misuses any piece of knowledge, which is not your knowledge or realization, or you are not authorized to have that access directly on the frequency level, it's a crime to repeat such knowledge, to utter it, unless you're authorized. No one has authority for this knowledge. This knowledge is just to raise awareness for some light beings, light souls, to realize that when we look at our chakra system, it is not on a physical level. Everything on the physical level is just here. This is the root. Here are all our elements in alignment. When you're awakened, all the elements are in alignment here. This is the energetic root. So the triangle of the subtle body is this way, but it means that the subtle body is shining the light onto the physical, but the physical body is open to receive that energy from here. And when it receives the energy from here, it processes it through all the other glands. It redistributes it through the glands. So on the physical level, there are no chakras. Chakras are the representations of the energy body. But the energy body is beyond the physical. And it only has one point of touch, which is here. That is your sacred heart. That is your root. Just different aspects of it. So when you generate frequency of love, you feel grounded. But it's all on the energy. It's like in the energy body. And so your physical body feels then just relaxed because the pituitary gland sends specific hormone and electrical signal into your prostate or ovaries. And so you feel grounded on the physical level through your neurons, through your, neurological system, nervous system. But otherwise, energetically, it's all there. There is no touch with our physical body. I mean, our energy body has no touch with the physical body unless through the upper glands. And when there is misalignment, disconnect, or some kind of veil there, our physical body does not receive that energy. And so it starts stagnating, waning, aging, decaying. So it's very important to remember that when you feel humble, your power center becomes balanced. You feel aligned and empowered from within without desire to demonstrate. You gain power only when the corruption of the soul is dissolved. True power is in humility. Because humility is a driving mechanism for further evolution. your self-expression, creativity are connected with your communication. And so, again, all these are paired centers in the energy body, which make sure that whatever you are experiencing on the subtle level is translated into your physical being, the condition of your body. And of course, there is some connection to the physical organs. That's why certain organs get depleted or too nourished, and so there is an energy imbalance. The point is not to bring too much energy here and there. And when you say that you're meditating on the physical body, trying to bring energy here and there, all you can do is just bring energy by focusing consciously on your organs. But it has nothing to do with your energy body. Your energy body is a reflection of your subtle being. And your subtle being, the way you process reality on a subtle level, whatever your thoughts and emotions are there, that will be draining your physical reality, your glands, or it will contribute to the way your body works. So whenever our subtle body is disturbed by the flow of parasitic energy, which is thoughts and emotions, especially when they're uncontrollable, you will experience vitiation of physical systems and organs. And so if you want to be healthy and you want to build proper foundation on the physical level for spiritual evolution, you need to work on eliminating parasitic energies on the physical level so that they wouldn't host parasitic energy on the subtle level. And parasitic energy on the subtle level are different limited, corrupt forms of understanding of reality, thoughts, ideologies, beliefs, someone else's ideas, someone else's opinions, and so on and so forth. So it's very much important to remember. Now, when you want to heal yourself, you have to, first of all, experience the ultimate reality. The ultimate reality is experienced when thoughts and emotions are neutralized, at least for a while. So then you experience yoga, equanimous being, absorption. And so your entire body is vibrant, is feeling magnetized, your cells are transformed, and you experience powerful transformation. Transformation is the transformation of negative energy, which means parasitic energy, into the light. Again, it's not a transformation actually, but it's more like a dissolution, because when awareness shines upon corruption, the corrupt patterns, they get dissolved. But certainly we have habits, or we are habitual to doing certain activities, and so sometimes it's difficult for us to neutralize these patterns right away, even though we are aware. So when we interact with the projected reality, all we can do is observe our patterns, observe how we tend to act, and more so how we are reacting. So when you observe your reactions, you are on the path of self-refinement, and you can neutralize these reactions by choosing to act differently. You realize that all your perception of reality from the outside is basically just a reaction, and reaction is inside. So you stop being a victim, you start owning your feelings, emotions, and reactions, and you become responsible in life, or in other words, mature being. So this way, you have a chance to dissolve all the corrupt and distorted patterns and establish yourself more and more in that equanimous neutral state. And when you are established in that, your entire body will start, transforming, and you will see physical enlightenment, or the light of your soul will permeate every cell, every system, every gland, every organ, and you will start being aligned, not just in your head, not just in your feet, not just in your heart, but your entire being will be permeated with that. And you will
understand that this is the foundation. It's not an achievement. It's not an achievement. It's a foundation to grow further. When you're here, you will know more. But first, we need to get here. And this transmission has the purpose to awaken those light beings who carry that essence within them, whose time is now. And this transmission just offers you the experience of the higher frequency so that you have a reference point, so that you have a glimpse of real meditation without trying to practice anything because it can't be practiced. Have a taste of awakening, a taste of higher being, a taste of Siddha presence, a taste of higher reality, effortlessly, unconditionally. It's a gift of this Guru Purnima. It's the gift of the higher realm. Take it, absorb it, let it guide you further to further evolution, high existence, bliss, contentment, knowledge, humility, and courage. Shaktipat is a grace. Shaktipat is a grace. It's always there. If you turn to it, you will experience it anytime. No one is authorized to give anything to anyone, but the higher power, the higher reality itself awakens us at the right time. And the presence of higher light beings sets an example so that the falsehood and fraudulence, spiritual criminals perish. For they assume a position that they can give something to someone, that they can play a role of a god, that they can give you grace. No one decides, no one can give you anything but demons. All they invoke, they represent demonic realm and they invoke demons. All their Shaktipats is a fraud. Grace is there. Only those who have refined and aligned and are authorized by higher power, higher realm, divinity, immortals and siddhas are but an example. They don't give anything. They are. Their presence is just invoking that frequency, but the frequency you have to establish in that frequency. That frequency is always there if you tune to it, whether there is someone there or not. But when there are light beings on earth, even if they're very few, their example offers you an opportunity to reconnect with your own higher soul, to realize your higher purpose, and to realign with that higher purpose. Selflessly, unconditionally, not for anyone to recognize you, but for you to join the collective cluster of higher light beings yourself. That doesn't give you anything from this material reality, but you will have everything in this material reality if you need. Fools don't understand it, but wise people live through it and ascend out of it. Shaktipat is a grace. When your soul vibrates at high frequency, you will come across the high frequency. And by coming across, you will not just forsake it, you will absorb it and you will cultivate it and you will grow yourself in your own power, in your own humility, with your own courage. You will proceed towards the light. No one should assume any superior position in this world, but whoever is light is light. To be light doesn't mean you're superior, inferior. It's just you are what you are. The problem is with wannabes, they're nothing, but they want to be something. And something means still nothing on the spiritual sense. To be light, you can't want to be light. You just are that, and you remove the veil. You dissolve the veil and you reveal your true essence. You can only be that which you are. And even if you're veiled, even if you're in the mud, you will come through. You will penetrate through the mud and will exit and will reveal your light. Because you've always been light. If you come from the original soul, if you're a light being, this transmission will call you into the light, will set you into that alignment with the light. You'll restore the link and you will be able to grow in your own power. This is the most powerful transmission and the empowerment for all the light, true, humble human beings, human souls who are ready for that. And whoever is filled with darkness and corruption or corrupt from within, distorted, you will, through this transmission, realize your distortion, corruption. You'll cry it out, and you have a chance to turn to the light. And if you are insanely corrupt soul, distorted with grandiosity, with envy, jealousy, it will engulf you and destroy you from within. This transmission will be your karmic payback. So that you fall on your knees and have a chance to realize the truth. The truth of the darkness and truth of the light. The higher realm will support all the light souls. This is the Siddha presence. This is the higher realm empowering you. See beyond the veil. The presence of the light beings and Siddhas, the living Siddhas on earth, even if invisible, creates a tremendous impact and a shift from a lower era, the previous era, to the new era. Just their presence shatters all delusions, and delivers everyone that experience that they're supposed to receive. The light is not the human light or the light that you see. It's the frequency beyond any comprehension. Siddha consciousness is cosmic consciousness. It's not human consciousness. And light beings are selfless beings, which represent that cosmic consciousness. In their essence, they are originally that. You can't be a Siddha. You can't be something that you're not. All those delusional spiritual writings that were spread from the past, that spread delusion that everyone can do this or that, is all false. You can't do anything. Spiritually, you are that which you are. And throughout one or many lifetimes, you will just reveal that essence. Sooner or later, it will come to the surface, even through whatever karmic experiences you have to come through. You will be that which you've always been. No one can become a cosmic consciousness just like that. Everyone dreams, everyone wants to be, but they're still human mortals. But even human mortals with a higher blessing can transform and be absorbed into cosmic consciousness, into the light. Thank you very much. This is the blessing of highest Siddha Gurus, the true Gurus, the original Gurus, and all the other Gurus that come through as a collective cluster of cosmic consciousness. Receive this as a blessing, as a gift. Cherish it. Transform your lower nature. Reveal your light if you have that, if you possess it, if you carry it. And may the coming years be the blessing for you, if it's the time for the blessing. And may you receive whatever you are to receive as a part of your previous incarnations and actions in this life. Whatever seeds you sowed, so you'll reap. Be blessed, be protected, be healed, be aligned, and realize the truth of the higher reality. Thank you for your time. Bye.